Hey, what's up, everybody? Dr. Ryan Ross here, President and CEO of the Urban Leadership Foundation of Colorado, coming back to you with another episode of Candid with the Candidates, where we're taking a few minutes to get to know folks from our community who've decided to throw their name in a hat, to lead, to serve, to do their thing. And so this is our opportunity to get to know them outside of their policies, outside of their platforms, but we just want to know who they are. And so I have the honor and privilege of talking to an amazing individual. I happen to know him outside of this endeavor, Durrell Middleton. Durrell, how are you?
Doing good today. Thanks for having me here today and all the work that you do in the community.
So we're just going to start, this is Fast and Furious, so we're just going to jump right in.
Yeah.
So tell us who you are, what should people know about you, what do you want people to know about you?
Right. Durrell Middleton. I was born on the south side of Chicago. Let's see, I grew up, I'll let folks think what they want to think about the south side of Chicago, but honestly, I grew up on the beach playing tennis, which was a lot of fun. My mom was a police officer and a fingerprint technician toward the end of her career. My dad was a machinist, so he was a union man, and they raised me to really respect the family and work hard with a strong work ethic, and we took education very seriously. So from the south side of Chicago, it's kind of interesting. I joined the United States Army when I turned 17. So between my junior and senior year, I went to basic training. Finished up my senior year, and then actually, I was admitted into the United States Military Academy at West Point. I attended the prep school to get myself big and ready for football, because I played football there too as well. Had a great time at West Point. I understand and learned about leadership and duty and honor and how to serve our country best. Then I finished up at the University of Illinois, where I met my beautiful wife, Margie Middleton, and we moved out here in 1993. Been here in Colorado ever since, specifically Centennial, Colorado. Raised two kids. One's an actress, and one is a entrepreneur and a business manager. So it's a little bit about me. Some of the fun things I like doing, we do like boating and biking and enjoying the trails in Colorado. We love doing karaoke, mostly at home or out at a local restaurant. And I love cooking. So we just run a rib contest for our fraternity Kappa Alpha Psi. So a little bit about me.
Yeah. And so karaoke, I think everybody was going to want to know what's your go-to song.
It is Take Those Old Records Off the Shelf.
Okay.
I could sing it if you want, but I don't think.
No, we're gonna leave it for karaoke when we catch you live in karaoke.
That's the name of that song.
Yeah. No. Thank you for your service.
Yes. Thank you.
West Point. That had to be quite the experience. I think there are a lot of people who wish they could get into West Point.
Yeah.
Sure. Rather than just going the regular route. What was that experience like for you?
It was very difficult, to be quite honest, and it was a process of. It was very difficult. It was an honor to attend. The schedule went from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. every night, including football. And one of the things that I did at West Point, President Ronald Reagan came for a visit, 1987, and I was able to sit at the table with him. And I do remember a guy walking around with a briefcase with his that was kind of shackled to his wrist. And I just remember just being in the moment. And from that, I realized that there was no table that I wouldn't feel comfortable at. So that's a little bit about my time at West Point. Very difficult, very challenging, and a real honor to attend that school, for sure.
Yeah, man. So you were sitting next to the nuclear codes.
I was.
I don't know. I think that made me a little nervous. So Centennial. What's great about Centennial?
Well, Centennial is one of the safest cities in America. Number 15. It was also voted as the #1 city in Colorado. So me stepping up to serve isn't trying to serve or fix a broken city. It's a city of neighborhoods, very safe, as I mentioned, and just a real honor to have been able to buy a house there and purchase it in 1998 and living there ever since.
Yeah. So, with the exception of people who are kind of career politicians who come from families who are dedicated to politics, for the average person who decides to run, there's something that happens, right? There's a moment, there's an issue, there's a challenge, and so you've talked about Centennial being safe.
Yeah.
What is your why? Why jump into politics?
I was asked to serve, and it's hard to, when you're asked to run, to turn it down by the Chamber of Commerce. And they saw something in me, being nonpartisan and also understanding of having a business background. They realized that the typical politician was probably not a good fit at this time for our city. The big why is housing. And so you're selling a product to your constituents that they may not really believe in. I'll ask you a question. In 2001, Centennial was annexed, and we had, let's say, round numbers, 100,000 people in Centennial. What would you guess 25 years later our population is in Centennial?
Centennial, you guys are what? Probably around 75, 80,000?
Oh, okay. I've seen it go the other way. People usually guess around 400,000. So in 25 years, we've netted 7,000 people, and that brings a little bit of a burden, extra burden on the existing constituents inside of Centennial. So really, we need to just get folks more access to housing. And of course, we want to continue co-patrolling and keep our zones safe. And co-patrolling, by the way, is when you send out a qualified police officer that is also trained in de-escalating issues. And we also want to continue to support thriving businesses. But the biggest thing is the question that you really was asking from the beginning. How do you get involved in politics? I want to make sure that every one of our constituents understands the legislative process inside of our city and inside of our municipality, and that there's no unknowns about what we're doing in governance.
Yeah. So speaking of constituents, one of the things that happens in politics, at least from my opinion, and I think that there's plenty that would agree, oftentimes legislation, policy happens to people and not with people.
Exactly.
Right? Yep. And so if you are afforded the opportunity to serve in this capacity, how do you address that and make sure that it's happening with people versus to people?
Yeah, it's forums like this. I do have 2 more Candid with the Candidate forums coming up at our local library in Centennial. You can check out the dates on our website, middleton4d4.com. But that's how you make sure that your constituents are involved in the process. These are the kind of things that are going to be coming up with local legislation, and these are the dates, and this is the time to make your voice heard. Those are the best ways to make sure you keep your voters informed. Yeah. And that's definitely one of the principles of our campaign, for sure.
Yeah. So I think it was just this past Monday evening. The days are running kind of close. Yeah. But Congressman Crow had a town hall meeting.
In Aurora.
At the community college of Aurora, right? And so I was there and listening to him. But what was interesting, the audience was talking about like a sense of hopelessness.
Yes.
Right? Just not feeling great about politics, not feeling great about America, not feeling great about the community in general. What is your message to people to maybe, one, inspire hope, and probably more importantly, keep them engaged in the political process?
One of the things that I'm noticing when I'm canvassing our neighborhood is what you said, the hopelessness. And I think that really leans more toward national politics. When I'm talking to my neighbors, I kind of redirect their focus, like, what do we really need and what can we handle at the municipality level? What do you need to make this neighborhood feel safer? Well, we need more streetlights, Durrell. Okay, that's something we can handle. I'm tired of hitting this pothole on Reservoir Road. That's something we can fix. And then now you see that your neighbor is also serving you on things that can really help our community and that are specific to this person's home value or their safety, like being able to turn left onto a busy street like Tower Road. These things are important, and there's something that we can fix at the local level. And Doc Ross, I'm telling you, that brings back that hope again, that not all politicians are trying to divide us. I'm trying to bring our neighborhood together on things that really matter.
Yeah, just following up to some of the things that I heard at that town hall meeting. A lot of folks in that room recognize that really politics it should be local.
Yes.
Right. That's where our lived experience is impacted the most. But people are worried about, and speaking to these executive orders that are federal mandates that seem to be impacting municipalities, cities, right? taking over a police department,
Sure.
right?
Yes.
Or, you
Right.
know, any other, I mean, there's just quite a few executive orders that seem to be touching people at their doorstep.
Right.
What would be your approach at kind of protecting or informing or just managing, you know, some of these types of activity?
Well, in 2007, not to get too deep into policy, but we came up with, for Centennial, a home rule which limits not only the state or federal kind of meddling inside of our community, and then making sure that our, like I say, our voters are aware of those kind of stop gates that we already have in place in Centennial.
Yeah.
So you have to be aware of these things on a national level. But again, I also redirect my opponents and our voters, our constituents, our neighbors about what the state and the federal government can do in Centennial and what they cannot.
Right.
Yep.
So magic wand time, right?
Yes.
You are, you know, fairy godmother, fairy godfather comes down and says, all right, Durrell, here's the magic wand. You have one issue and one solution. What issue would you deal with, and what would that solution be?
It's definitely more access to affordable homes, while at the same time smart growth, so that when you have housing, right, it can take care of a litany of other issues that come up just from not having a home.
Yeah.
There's a lot of predictors on wealth in America just by your zip code.
Right.
And your education level. It can all be determined by your zip code.
Yeah.
Centennial, like I said, it's a great city of neighborhoods. But if I could have that magic wand, it would be definitely around the issue of housing and making sure that we preserve our neighborhoods in Centennial. However, we give more folks access to affordable homes. Now, I moved there in 1998. It's, people say where I'm from. I'm from Chicago. But where's my home? It's in Centennial, Colorado, where I laid my roots. It's where I have ownership, right?
Yeah.
And not only ownership of my home, but the American dream, right? Have a house, a wife, and 2 kids. That's the American dream. That's what I served for in the Army. So if I can give more people access to that with a magic wand, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, you know, you and I have a personal relationship. We both are members of the greatest fraternity in the world, Kappa Alpha Psi.
Nice, they named it twice.
Yep. I'm sure there'll be some others out there who aren't thrilled with that statement, but it's true, right? Kappas are awesome. But I know you from your work in the fraternity, from the work in the community, work as an entrepreneur, as a strategic thinker. There's a lot of flexibility and power in a sense in those lanes, and you're kind of giving all that up to serve. And so, how does that make you feel? How are you preparing yourself for that? Yeah,
that's a great question. I did hire a speech coach after my first public appearance. I feel disciplined, and I understand the need for discipline. I understand words matter. So you give up a little to serve. And I think that's okay. I think it brings out the best of you. I'm excited. It's not hard to wake up.
Yeah.
I take moments to make sure I'm grounded, like physically grounded. Some people call it meditation or prayer. I feel great about it. It's a great process. I'm learning a lot about myself. I know I'm always right, but I'm always willing to be wrong, sincerely.
Yeah.
So it's a great process. I'm growing up. You grow up a lot when you offer yourself up to the public.
Yeah. Yeah, well, again, I want to thank you for your service, serving our country, but I also really want to thank you for being vulnerable and deciding to run for office. It's not something that everybody can do, and again, I think it comes with great sacrifice. So I just want to thank you for that, and I also just want to give you an opportunity for the folks watching. If they want to get a hold of you, if they want to learn more about you, how can they do that? Yeah,
the best way is to go to the website. It's Middleton. The number 4, letter D, number 4. So Middleton 4D4 is the best way to reach us. You can also reach me by 720-456-0562. And we're also Durrell at Middleton4D4.com.
Well, there you have it, folks. Durrell Middleton, who's interested in serving in Centennial on the City Council. We've had 15 minutes with him or so. Now it's time for you to take the deep dive. go find out more about him, reach out to him. He's given out his phone number.
Yep.
Up to you to do your part and decide if he is who you need representing you. So thank you for tuning in, and can't wait to see you next time. Have a great one, everyone. Durrell, thank you.
Thank you. My man.